Hello, welcome to Holistic Lifestyle Medicine. My name is Aman and we are at the March equinox 2025. I got the inspiration to make this video as this equinox was approaching. So a few days before the 21st of March, it occurred to me how if we are to heal ourselves from the hectic, insane pace of life and lifestyle that we're living in at the moment, we have to move out of linear time into cyclical time. So the Western hyper-consumerist capitalistic economic model into which the majority of the human race is plugged into, in that model, time is linear and time is divided into a very man-made synthetic concept of a work week. Monday to Friday is your work week. Saturday and Sunday is when you rest. And the calendar, of course, is a Gregorian calendar with 12 months. And what it does to our mind-body systems is it imposes a very unnatural time concept onto our bodies, and our bodies do not recognize this rhythm. It's not even a rhythm, it's man-made because of the Industrial Revolution, because of the need to work outside in companies to extract maximum productivity out of human beings. To be efficient is how this concept of time into a work week, into the 12-month year has been created. It's a concept that is actually very foreign and very alien to our bodies. I started to notice that the more I started to lean into the cycles of time, the more relaxed my system became. So in this video today, I wanted to talk about how we can bring in more sensitivity, more awareness, and build some rituals and build some practices around the cycles of nature, the cycles of time. So I wanted to start with, of course, we're at equinox. So for those of you that are absolutely new to these terms, I will just give a brief introduction. We have two equinoxes in the year, in March and September, when the day and the night are absolutely equal. And then depending on whether you're in the northern or the southern hemisphere, the equinoxes will then lead into solstices. And as I said, depending on where you are, in which hemisphere, you can either be heading, for us in Australia and the southern hemisphere, we're heading into the winter solstice. So the days are going to start getting shorter. So the solstices are in June and December. In the southern hemisphere, the solstice will be the longest night of the year. In the northern hemisphere, the June solstice will be the longest day of the year, and vice versa in December, when in the southern hemisphere, the summer solstice in the southern hemisphere will be the longest day of the year, and the winter solstice in the northern hemisphere will be the shortest day of the year. So just bringing an awareness even towards these pivotal points in the cycles of the Earth's orbit around the sun can bring us into an appreciation and awareness of the cyclical nature of time. In addition to the solstices and the equinoxes, there is the monthly full moon and the monthly new moon. So again, bringing an awareness of the two pivotal points in a month of the lunar orbit around the sun, around the Earth, will give us an appreciation of that cycle of nature, that cycle of the cosmos. As a start, I mean, I don't have any prescriptive rituals. I keep it very organic. So depending on what's alive for me, I might fast, or I might just light a candle at the altar or look out on a full moon night. Definitely around the equinoxes, slowing down, even taking a break, because these are transitory shifts into a new season, even though by the Gregorian man-made synthetic machine-made model, 1st of March was meant to be autumn in the southern hemisphere in Australia where I live. I actually fully felt autumn around equinox, which is the 21st, 22nd of March. And so noticing, because when we slow down around the solstices and when we slow down around the equinoxes, we can become aware of what's shifting in nature and hence what's shifting inside of us, because we are not separate from all that is. We are part of the grand tapestry of life. So cultivating this awareness, cultivating this sensitivity, and creating some practices and rituals around grounding and slowing down around these 4 pivotal shifts in the year will really help us come into alignment and ease with the cyclical nature of life. Ultimately, the reason we are so stressed today, we have an epidemic of angst and depression and autoimmune conditions and anxiety and all sorts of disorders, is because we are not living in our natural rhythms. We are not living in our natural cycles. We have been plugged out because of the dominant monoculture of capitalism and the hyper-consumerist economic model. So part of lifestyle medicine is returning back to what is natural, returning back to the rhythm and beat of life that is within us. So the other thing, as I said, the 2 equinoxes, the 2 solstices are a great, they're great points in the year to slow down, to have some rituals and practices around it. The full moon and the new moon every month. And for ladies that are menstruating, having that awareness around your cycle, slowing down the 1st and the 2nd day at least, not doing your usual activities, going inwards, journaling, nourishing yourself, taking walks in nature, but really slowing down for your cycle as well will give you an appreciation of that rhythm of nature that is occurring inside of our bodies as we bleed. The other thing that came this morning as I was getting ready to make this video was to start to eat seasonally. So the supermarket model, of course, makes everything available throughout the year. So we have no appreciation of the seasons. But if we were to start to eat seasonally, that will start to bring in awareness of what's happening in nature. So autumn, my pumpkins outside are really, ready to be harvested in a few weeks. The tomatoes are dying out now. I'll probably have another month or so of tomatoes from my land. And then I will stop eating tomatoes for the rest of the year until October, November later this year, when I'll start to get the first crop of tomatoes. Cucumbers are nearly, the bushes, the vines, the cucumber vines are dying, and I think I might have another 2 or 3 cucumbers that I'll get out of the vines before they go. And so then I won't be eating cucumbers till they are back again later this year. Same with all of the fruits like watermelons and rock melons, So what I've noticed is that I feel so much at ease when I eat seasonally. I eat what the earth is actually producing in that local region in that season. Yes, we are blessed in Australia that it's a giant country with many climatic zones, so we can keep getting bananas throughout the year. We can keep getting a number of fruits and vegetables that are grown really up there in the north tropical, far north Queensland or Northern Territory that can be brought down here through cold storage and trucks. But I feel that by eating seasonally, our bodies are a lot more at ease, because you are eating what that season and what nature and nature's rhythm intended for you to eat. And that is always aligned with the needs of your body in that season. And so not only is it healthy, not only is it aligned with what our body needs, it is also also brings an appreciation of the changing seasons. Otherwise, in the lifestyles that we live, in the digital lifestyles, I mean, I'm appalled, like how little anyone, like when I look at children, like who are so connected to their devices, how little they're aware of which season we are in and what is growing in this particular season for us. So I'll end here. I guess just to recap, coming out of the linear time into cyclical time, and how do we come into cyclical time is by appreciating the cycles in nature, the cycles of the cosmos, the cycles of the orbits of all the planetary bodies, by bringing in awareness and sensitivity to the equinoxes and solstices, to the full moon, to the monthly full moon and monthly new moon, to our, for women, to our menstrual cycles, and eating seasonally. This, just even bringing these practices into your life will bring a very deep sense of connection. And as we start to remember, because we haven't forgotten it, this memory, this knowledge that we are part of all that is there encoded in us. It is just that we have forgotten. So through these practices, through remembering all that I've just spoken about, we can come back into remembering the cyclical nature of life, the cyclical nature of our bodies, the cyclical nature of our inner landscape. And this is profoundly, profoundly healing to our systems. Thank you.